My elderly neighbor raised me after my mother left us for her addiction. Now mom wants the coffee shop chain I built using my neighbor's recipes. My mother walked out when I was 8, choosing drugs over raising her daughter. Yesterday, she appeared after 17 years of silence, parent demanding ownership shares in my successful coffee shop chain built on the recipes of the elderly woman who actually raised me. That morning is forever seared into my memory. Mom stumbling into the kitchen, eyes unfocused, mumbling about needing space and finding herself. I watched from our apartment stairwell as she threw a few clothes into a duffel bag and disappeared without even looking back at me. My backpack contained a half-finished homework assignment, my lunchbox, and a small photo album. Mrs. Wilson from next door found me sitting alone in the dark apartment that evening and brought me to her warm, plant-filled home. I never spent another night in that empty apartment. Those first few months, I'd run to the window at every passing car, hoping it was mom returning. No birthday calls, no Christmas cards, not even a message asking if I was okay. My mother completely vanished to chase her next high, leaving me behind like forgotten luggage. Meanwhile, Mrs. Wilson Pert, a 70-year-old widow, living on Social Security with an incredible talent for baking pear, became my entire world. She taught me to read recipes before bedtime, woke up early to walk me to school despite her arthritis, helped with science fair projects, and somehow stretched her modest pension to include piano lessons because she noticed how I loved music. When I graduated high school, she presented me with a worn leather journal. "These are all my secret recipes," she said with misty eyes. "I've been saving them for someone special. They're yours now." Those recipes became the foundation of my first tiny coffee shop. I worked through business school, modernized her traditional pastries with unique coffee pairings, and last month opened my 15th location with a cookbook and signature coffee line launching next quarter. My first major expense wasn't a luxury car or designer clothes. It was renovating Mrs. Wilson's aging home and creating a custom kitchen where she could still bake without her joints hurting, complete with a garden room filled with the plants she loves. 3 days after my profile in Food and Wine was published, my phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. "Sweetie, it's Mom. I saw you on that magazine cover. Your coffee shop looks amazing." For a moment, I was 8 years old again, desperate for my mother's love. Then I heard a man's voice in the background asking if I committed to the investment yet. "I always knew you'd be successful," my mother continued, as if she'd just seen me last week instead of abandoning me nearly 2 decades ago. "You get your creativity from my side of the family," and came the real reason for her sudden reappearance. "I've actually been clean for 6 months now, and my counselor says reconnecting with family is important for recovery. Your stepdad and I are starting a small business consulting firm, and we thought your coffee shops would be the perfect first client. Or better yet, we could become partners. I could be the face of the mother-daughter story behind the brand." I remained silent as she continued. "We'd need about 30% ownership to make it worth our while. It's practically nothing. After all, where do you think you got your entrepreneurial spirit from?" When I finally spoke, I asked the obvious question. Why would I give anything to someone who abandoned me for drugs? Abandoned? She sounded genuinely hurt. I was sick. Addiction is a disease. I was protecting you from seeing me at my worst. The least you could do is support my recovery now that I am better. I took a deep breath before responding. "I am glad you are recovering, but the time to be my mother was 17 years ago. Mrs. Wilson was there for every fever, heartbreak, and triumph since then. She's called 14 times since our conversation. Her husband, Pernt, a stranger to me, Pernt, even messaged saying I'm standing in the way of her healing process by being selfishly unforgiving. Yesterday, I blocked their numbers and surprised Mrs. Wilson by naming our signature blend Wilson's Wisdom with her photograph on the packaging. The only partnership I am interested in is with the woman who checked my homework every night, despite having never finished high school herself, and who taught me that success tastes hollow unless shared with those who believed in you from the beginning. Some people give you life, others give you the ingredients to make it worth living. I know which one deserves my loyalty.